Señora del Camino, muéstrame la vía para llegar al Padre. Well, hello everyone. It's 11:30 on Tuesday, the 24th of September, and I'm here in Saint Jean Pied de Port. Today is the first of the 3 rest days that I'm going to have on the Camino. So I've been busy doing a few things that I'll tell you about. First of all, yesterday we went to, Ben and I had a bit of a walk round. It's always difficult for everybody when you finish a big adventure. There's all the adrenaline and the excitement, and then there's, what do I do now? And a bit of a dip. So I wanted to make sure that it wasn't too much of a dip for Ben yesterday. We had a look round, and I walked with him to show him where the Camino continues, where, all being well, I start tomorrow. Just so he could see that way out. And we went into the church, and we met some of the pilgrims we met on the other days. And then we met with the owner of the albergue, who was very helpful. We made sure we got our credentials stamped, and bits of jobs like that, sort of getting jobs done. We booked a place for a pilgrim meal in the evening. And then we had went to Mass at 7 o'clock. And what was lovely at the end of the Mass, the first time this year I've experienced it, is they have the pilgrim blessing at the end of the Mass. And they asked if there was anyone who would translate from French to English for the blessing. And I wasn't putting my hand up, but other people put my hand up for me from the other day, Laura and Philippe. So I had to translate. So there's a picture on the mat yesterday, I think, of me with a red top on at the end of Mass. The privilege of giving pilgrims a blessing. So then we had something to eat. Then we came back. And then I had a busy evening because the plan originally, when I ran the Leeds-Liverpool Canal last year, there were 2 things that I learned. One was that for 5 days, running a marathon a day was just about okay, but there was no way that I was going to be able to do that for 20 odd days. And plus it was flat on the canal. And the second was that carrying a rucksack running is a lot. And so my plan, I remember I was going down Bingley 5 Rise. So, I just won't carry in my rucksack. I'll get it moved from place to place. Then a few months ago, I found out it said that can't be done from Lourdes to Saint Jean Pied de Port. So I had to train for 3.5 months with the rucksack. And it did get easier, but I would not say that it was easy. It wasn't one of those things that you never noticed it was there. I could feel it. It's very different running with a rucksack. So I decided the other day that I was going to return to the original plan and have booked baggage transport. And that will make a big difference because you'll notice as we go along that the distances increase quite considerably on some days. And so it's going to be really important to do everything that we can to make things possible. So it's all part of learning what it means to run the Camino. Now it says, well, if you're going to run it, then it's a good idea to get your bag moved. So I have an orange waterproof bag that I use for canoeing. And I checked with the ones who are moving there. I said, can I use that? And they said, yes. So I bought myself a felt pen marker. And I've written my name on it, on the outside, my mobile number on it, the name of the company, Camino Fácil, which means easy Camino, on the bag, plus the reference number of this journey that I've booked, plus their telephone number, plus their email. It's a bright orange bag, sort of a duffel bag sort of thing. If after that it goes missing, then I've done the best I can. Labels can fall off, bags can look the same, but this one is about the best I can do. What's the challenge in that? The challenge is letting go of having all the stuff with me. and having to trust that it will arrive at each place. And also a challenge of letting go of a bit of an ego of, I could run it all the way with the rucksack. Letting go of that. Because if I'd have had the rucksack with me, I would have had to have walked a lot more of it. There'll still be bits that I have to walk, but there will be considerably less if I don't have a heavy rucksack. Also, I can now have a sleeping bag, which I've just had a sleeping bag liner before, and that's a bit grim. So that last night I was sorting all of that out. I was checking all the details again of every stage. And there are 3 places that weren't on the list for the bag drop, so I've sent them an email. I'm happy now that I've made contact with them. They were helpful. Plus I've got Anna who will help us back up if we need to have a conversation in Spanish. So today, at breakfast, I was late last night working actually. It was late. I've been going to bed at 8:30 the night before. Last night it was nearly midnight. And I didn't sleep as well because I think I had a lot of things on my mind, and I wanted to be up this morning to make sure that Ben was safely on the train. So I was up at 6, be able to say my prayers, wake Ben up, get some breakfast, and then on the train. And so he's safely on his way home now via Bayonne and the Eurostar, and I'm so proud of him. And it's a great joy and relief that he's safely through it all. Obviously I wanted him to be safe throughout and have a good experience, and he's really done well. So he's on his way home, and then I called by I did my washing, and if you look at the picture I'll put on for today, the washing machine is outside by the garage, by the supermarket. And as I was there, I was talking to 2 men who were from Switzerland who were doing a 3,000 kilometre walk over the mountains, and they just had 3 months, and they just had 100 kilometres to go. So something I could never do, but fascinating to talk with them. And then with a pilgrim from America, who is a nice lad, who had accidentally put his washing in. He thought it was for everybody's washing, and it was the private washing of the owners of the albergue. So he'd had to come to dry his washing at the machine. So I was having a good chat with him, postgraduate student from Kansas. And then I bumped into him again. I went to the supermarket, then I bought a sleeping bag, and I bought a little pouch to put around my neck. I realised that I got all my eggs in one basket because these shorts don't have pockets in them. Then it meant that everything was in the rucksack. I don't like that. I like to be able to split things up so I can carry a card with me and some money, as well as have things in the rucksack. And I bought a sleeping bag, that, and then one of the walking sticks just for tomorrow. It'll be worth it for tomorrow, and then hopefully I can give it to somebody who can use it on the way. Tomorrow it's up. Last night I was studying all the different legs of the Camino from now on, working out the distances, looking at the gradients a bit more, working out now what that means as to how much I can run of it, where I'll have to pace it. There's one day which is one of the 3 long days, 37 kilometres, and then most of that is uphill. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It means it's going to have to be fast walking for a lot of it. Perhaps that's the way it's meant to be. But it also means now that I can have a very light rucksack. I can also have more food in. I can have lunch in and things like that. That makes a big difference, knowing that there'll be because some places are not the big places that I'm arriving at. So I did my washing, I sorted all of that out. I'm doing this. Then I'm going to just sort all my stuff out, and then have lunch. And then this afternoon, to be honest, in this evening, I want to have a bit like a quiet prayer day, retreat, just to regroup now. What happened with this American pilgrim is I met him again. So I walked with him to the church, and I asked him if he knew about the ancient pilgrim blessing, and he didn't. So I gave him the blessing, and then I walked with him for the first 10 minutes just to make sure he was on the way. So that was a privilege. His name is Chris, so we'll keep him in our prayers today, and all those who travel today. So all being well, we're back on the road tomorrow. Today is a chance to have some stillness and remember why I'm doing it. So, Señora del Camino, pray for us. I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy, and I don't believe he's brought me this far to leave me.